Good morning, SCV. Like as promised, we said on House Tour Tuesday we were going to meet with one of our lenders. So we'd like to introduce Martin with Wintrust, and we're going to interrogate him today and ask him all the questions you guys want to know about him, his company.
Huh?
Yeah. Okay, so Martin, just tell us what's your day to day.
My day to day. We're going to start with Saturday and Sundays, right?
Of course. We want to know about all the partying and everything you do.
Then we'll start with Monday. Not much to tell, but honestly, my day-to-day usually starts with very first thing in the morning when I first open my eyes. First thing I do is I'm checking the bond market. I get text messages that come to my phone 5:30 every morning. As soon as the market opens up in New York, the stock exchange and stuff, Wall Street's open, we want to see exactly what's happening because that's going to influence the rate sheet for our clients today. So it gives me a sense of direction as to what's happening economically, any kind of world news. Sometimes things happen in the world while we're sleeping at night, and you wake up and the rate sheet is suddenly worse, or maybe it's better, but lately it's been a lot worse, unfortunately, but things happen that influence us. We are very much in a global economy and people don't realize that. So that's a really important part of my day is it sets the trajectory. Now, once I've got that figured out, then I start looking at what clients need immediate follow-up. If I have any fundings going on that morning, that's usually the priority, make sure that's tight. I have a team that handles all that for me, so usually I just a quick check with them. And then I turn my attention to what realtors are expecting follow-up, what clients are expecting follow-up, and making sure that I'm moving those files along and processing. My personal stuff like marketing and outreach and all that, I kind of do that after hours at the end of my day. Okay. So usually my day, I'm in it and I'm usually on phone calls and meetings pretty much the whole day.
Well, that's needy real estate agents.
No, it's not. Yeah, and it's not that. It's just it's a lot of follow-up. Sometimes you're doing research. You're trying to identify what programs to put a client into. Sometimes you get weird things. Like literally just got a phone call right before we started shooting this about someone who's now pivoting to buy an investment property that's going to be a short sale. Those are often unusual types of transactions that require a lot of research. So you'd be surprised how much research I end up doing between myself and my team.
So Martin, after working with you all these years, one thing I know that you're super thorough, and like you just described before, is how much you put into knowing anything. One thing I really want to know though is how do you prepare for and how do you deal with somebody who's their first time coming into financing?
So for first time applicants, it always starts with the initial interview. I keep it real simple. I put everybody through a very similar process. I'm a pilot and everything I do is following checklists. Mm-hmm. So my clients have a checklist, I have a checklist. If you do everything in the same somewhat routine, you'll have really good results and people know what to expect. So I always start with the initial interview. Tell me about yourself. Why do you want to buy a house? Where do you want to buy a house? Are you buying for the first time? Are you selling a house? Everybody's story is a little different. I'm going to be taking lots of notes about what that client's scenario is. Once we get an understanding as to what their goals are, now I kind of have a mission in mind already. I have a strategy that I'm beginning to formulate for them. And then the paperwork process, I always say it's the easy process, but I know that from a customer's perspective, it's probably a pain because they're pulling their hair out because I'm asking for so much paperwork, tax returns, W-2s, pay stubs.
I don't even know where to find those sometimes.
Yeah, some people don't even know, exactly. But the process, to your point, is guide people through. Tell them what the big picture looks like, and then just give them the next step. Once they know what to expect with that next step, then we take them to the next step. And you guide them through, and that's my job. And if I can do that, it helps simplify things for them. And that's